Did Apple finally fix multitasking on iPad? Do you even need a Mac? Let's chat. Real quick, if you want to keep up to date with the latest Apple news and reviews, hit that subscribe button. Apple's had quite a few attempts at multitasking over the years with iPadOS. Its latest attempt is beyond anything else it has done that feels simultaneously familiar while also uniquely natively at home on iPad. Let me show it to you and share a few cool tips and tricks to get the most out of it. To start, there are basically two modes for iPadOS now. You can use it how you have always been with apps in full screen, edge to edge. But now, once you upgrade, there is a new option right on startup to enable the new windowed interface. Here, apps run as resizable windows that you can place anywhere. When you open the first app from the home screen, it's full size, but drag that corner, you can resize it. Then go to the dock for yet another app. If you want one from your home screen, swipe up to send all of your windows to the side. Choose a new app and it will open with your others. Windows can be tapped to regain focus, and you can freely move them around and adjust them as you need. Another nice new addition is in the corner. You'll see these familiar circles that you can tap to close, minimize, or go full screen. If you hold on these icons, you'll get an additional set of options, such as to put apps into quarters or thirds. It works so incredibly well. It has so much flexibility, and I love what they have come up with here. What's especially cool is that this doesn't work just on iPadPro. You don't need a 13-inch iPad screen. You can use the iPad mini or the base entry-level iPad. They are functionally the same, though the number of open apps is limited based on the hardware. There's no firm number, at least not yet, but the slower the processor, the less apps you'll be able to open at once. And I can say I've opened easily more than a dozen, even on the iPad mini. With iOS 26 introducing some really cool new battery features, like how long it'll take till you're done charging, and this refreshed visual design, it's time for your accessories to evolve with your phone. ESR's new lineup of magnetic accessories is fully compatible, even with the upcoming iPhone 17. So now's the perfect time to gear up for what's next. Like the ESR card charger with Cryo Boost. Basically, it's a Qi 2 certified card charger, which means up to 15 watts of wireless power, but it has active cooling. There's a fan inside that quietly whirls away, wicking away heat and increasing the speed at which your phone charges. In the car, that's even more important because your phone can already get hot while running things like CarPlay or navigating, especially in the summer heat. Plus, they just launched their second-gen CryoBoost tech, which is slimmer, quieter, and more efficient. If you need a good phone case to go with it, I highly recommend the ESR Hybrid case. Super strong MagSafe magnets, clear non-yellowing design, and a built-in stash stand around the cameras. Not to mention it has a glass covering for your camera control that's just as responsive and pressure sensitive as the real thing. But you won't be on the hook for hundreds and hundreds of dollars should something happen to it. Learn more about all these accessories down below in the description. Let's get into a few cool tips and tricks here with this. First, this also works with external displays, meaning if you have an iPad mini, you can dock it with a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse and really be productive on a tiny tablet. Especially thanks to Apple's other improvements, like background tasks that let things run, in the background. You may have noticed Apple also changed the pointer too. Instead of a circle, it's an arrow. Maybe a little traditional, but it feels more accurate and precise. Usability-wise, I think this is one of my favorite changes just to get a regular pointer again. Items can be moved between windows just by dragging and dropping. This works with various selectable items like text and images. When you have a bunch of windows open, you can open Expose to see them all at once. It's super handy where all your windowed apps appear next to all of your full screen apps. If you want to dismiss them all, swipe up to your home screen, then swipe up a second time. Plus, you can go into Control Center and toggle back to the traditional full screen mode at any time. It is a little bittersweet though. While the new design is a massive step forward, Apple did have to remove two existing features that some may have relied on. Both slide over and split view are gone with iPadOS 26. As a reminder, if you weren't sure on those, slide over allowed an app to slide into view from either edge of the display on top of your other content. Split view lets you pin two apps side by side 50-50 or 70-30, which is basically here, just updated. Neither of those quite make sense as standalone features with the new windowed interface, though I think I will miss slide over at times. Even with a retirement of these two features, Apple's still keeping Stage Manager around, at least for now. You can even enable it quickly in Control Center by long holding the windowed toggle control. And the new windowed interface is miles ahead of Apple's past attempts, and it gives the iPad so much new life. There are still going to be times when a Mac makes sense, but Apple really is putting in the work to make iPad more powerful and productive. Background tasks, windowed apps, there's new menu bars, there's all sorts of new things that are making iPadOS feel more powerful, like the Mac, but also still being a touch-first interface. And I think that is what's really key here. Let me know what you think of these new features and enhancements down below in the comments. Otherwise, subscribe for more deep dives into iPadOS 26 and Apple's other new software updates. Check you guys in the next video.